Okay, now we are on to the hollow core precast concrete floor panels part of the assignment. And here is the graph, uh, the diagram, I should say. And I filled out the components for it. So you can see the WWF at the top, then precast concrete, 8 inches. We have our structural steel I-beam, and then we're going to have 7 1/2 inch diameter strands per. And you'll see what that is in a couple minutes. And this is going to be part of this over here. I'm going to show you how to actually obtain those numbers. So we're going to go to this chart right here. Actually, we need to take a look at this thing first. This is the hollow core precast panels graph, and you're going to notice that we have 30 feet across here at the top, and we have 24 feet down here. Now, what I'll tell you with the precast is you want to go with the shorter versions of precast panels than 24 rather than 30, and you want to use the 24 rather than 30 is because they're lighter and they're easier to manipulate. Honestly, what's going to happen here with this building is we're going to use precast concrete. We're not going to use, I'm sorry, we're going to use the composite slab concrete floor. We're not going to use the precast concrete because the precast has to be lifted into the building with a crane, and that can be very expensive. Cranes are costly to rent. So we're going to look for 24-inch spans. So I'll go back to my thing here, and I'm going to put in, I'm sorry, 24 foot, not 24 inches, 24 foot for my span. Now, if I look, and what I did here is, by the way, I have taken the chart and I have put it into my engineering notebook, just like the other one. I've put my span at 24 feet. My applied load here is 150 PSF still, and you're going to see the chart. And down here is a cross section of one of these panels. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go look for 24 feet. And I'll go back to the computer version of this because it's going to be easier to see right here. Oh, by the way, when I put the chart in my notebook, I cut it off like right at 31 feet. This extra material we don't need over here, so I just made it fit in my notebook a little bit easier. And I also trimmed around this and put it in the notebook too. All right, so I'm going to look for 24 feet right here. And remember, we're looking for pounds per square foot of 150 or better, but as close to 150 as we can possibly get. So I'm going to start going down here on the 24 column, 285, 263, 239, 200, so we're still over, and then we go to 136, and now we dipped under. So that means we need to use the 200 value right here. Now, when I do that, I am going to take a look at the required information that I need, and a couple of things can come from this graph right down here. The first thing is panel width, and that is this right here. So each panel that gets lifted or craned into the building would be 4 feet wide by 24 feet long. So back on my chart here, go back to the front page of this. I'm going to write in panel width 48 inches. The slab thickness also comes from this, and that is 8 inches. So I'll write in 8 inches here. And then it says number and size of reinforcing strands. That comes from the chart also. So now I go to my 24, 200, and I come across here to the left, and you'll see there's a column that says strands, number, and size. And I get to the intersection of that, and it says 7 strands dash 1/2 inch. That means that for every one of these panels, it's going to have 7 strands of rebar in it, and they are going to be 1/2 inch in diameter. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one has 7 actually in it. So this piece of concrete that we would be purchasing flooring wise would be this exact graft right here. So that's where we get the number of strands and size from. So that's what I'm going to write there. I'm going to write 7, and then I'll put a dash 1/2 inch. Okay, so that's the end of that. So I'm going to go back to my chart here, and I'll circle a couple things. One, I'll underline where it says 24, and then I'll go down to where it says 200, and then I will circle where it says 7 dash 1/2, and that will take care of that part of the assignment.